Hello, welcome back to Let's Play NetHack Fourk. I want to apologize for the mic quality, the pickup quality on the previous video. I have no idea what happened there. I'm not sure if the mic wasn't plugged all the way in or what, but the quality was terrible. If you actually watched that, you deserve some kind of prize if you got all the way through it. I don't have prizes to give out, but you deserve some kind of recognition for getting all the way through that, because that mic pickup was absolutely terrible. I'm actually asking on one of the channels that I'm in on, well, it's actually on Discord. I access it through IRC, but that's neither here nor there. Asking some advice about microphones and considering the possibility of getting a better microphone, but I think if my tests are holding, that we're back now to the level of quality we had in episode 2, which is passable. Compared to episode 3, it's great. So I'm going to go ahead and record again. We're playing NetHack Fourk, and if you watched through last episode, I got my Valkyrie to Sokoban. So if I load up here, we are in Sokoban, and you can see I actually have a pet. That is a new pet that I just tamed because I didn't want it to kill me. And yeah, that's a let me do the lookup here. That's a pony, but they hit a little bit hard. 1d6 kick and 1d2 bite, plus their movement rate. The server hasn't been updated with that yet, so the movement rate still doesn't show. I committed this morning. The movement rate will show in the future. We could actually look it up in the spoiler. That's a good opportunity for me to show off the spoiler here. I meant to do that before and wasn't getting the web browser I was using to cooperate. I think performance characteristics while I'm recording are not very good, and that browser was a little heavier and required a little more. So what I want here is the monster spoiler. And a pony is a U, lowercase u. So here we go. Pony, their movement rate is actually 16. You can see if you find somewhere here where one of these lines that tells you what the things are is, that's the movement rate column there in white. So the pony is movement rate 16. A standard typical speed for a starting human without any speed boots or other bonuses or anything is 12. So the pony is significantly faster than I am, enough that it will frequently get more turns than I do. And so, yeah, I tamed it because I didn't want to fight it. Okay, now let me see if I can remember. Oh, let me go ahead and test this wand. We'll get to Sokoban in a second. I'm going to test the wand first. Okay, Wand of Magic Missile. And in vanilla, you would have to number name that now. But if we look at my inventory here, we will see a Wand of Magic Missile W. It got automatically identified when that message was shown. Because the rule in NetHack 4 is if it's unambiguous, go ahead and mark it to save tedium. The player knows what it is anyway. Okay, so we need to, let me see, figuring out, I think I need to push that up there. The thing about Sokoban is you don't want to get boulders into a situation where you can't get them out of it. And so you have to be a little careful what you push and where you push it in order to avoid such problems. But I think I can get past here now. And the thing is, if I push that one up, I'll have those two boulders next to each other against a wall, and I'll never be able to get that. I can push it to the right one, though, can't I? That will let me over here. But what I need... I see what I can do. I can push this one north. And that one back that way. We're hungry, but this is Sokoban, so that is not going to be a problem. Sokoban has a lot of food in it. Hopefully my pony will kill that raven, because do I even have telepathy yet? I don't remember if I got it last episode, but I can check my intrinsics. If I pull up the Control X menu, which is your character information, there's intrinsic abilities A. I'm cold resistant. No, I don't have telepathy yet. So I don't really want to tangle with that raven, because it can blind me. Oh, my pony picked up. Great, my pony's falling into the pits. They're clearly pre-mapped, but my pony's falling into them. There, the raven blinded me. Now I don't even know where it is. There it is. This is going to be a problem. Being blind in Sokoban is not good. Okay. There, I can see again. Okay. Just had to wait it out. Being blind in Sokoban is not good, especially if you have a pet that you're trying not to trap behind boulders. Okay, now I need to get behind there somehow. Oh yes, I can just go around this way and get behind there. That will work nicely. Good, the raven is dead because the pony is dropping a raven corpse. So I'm pretty sure that the raven got killed. Oh, I do need to eat something now. Let me see. What do I want to eat? Oh, I have 4 food rations. I will just eat a food ration. And oh look, there's another food ration when I move this boulder, which I'm dumping in the pit now. There's a food ration that was under it. Set that back down on the floor. There's lots of food in Sokoban. I'm going to look in this magic chest. I think I talked before about the magic chest, or that might have been in the episode that didn't get recorded. So I'll say it now. Magic chests are a feature from NetHack, which is another NetHack variant. Magic chests are a feature originally from NetHack, and now also in NetHack Fourk and in NetHack. And what it is anything you put into a magic chest anywhere in the dungeon can be got back out from any magic chest anywhere in the dungeon. There's only one magic chest, although it appears in different places. There's only one set of magic chest contents at any given time. So it's sort of like the perfect stashing location, because you can get things from various... There's one in Sokoban, so you can get it from there. There's one in Minetown, so you can get it from there, and various other places. In Fourk, NetHack Fourk specifically, the magic chest starts with some stuff in it. That scroll there is probably the scroll of consecration. I will leave that alone for now. I can use that to create an altar if I need it, or another magic chest if I want one in a specific place. Right now I haven't explored enough of the dungeon to know where I would want such a thing to be, so I'm going to just leave that. It could be real handy later. The Warhammer I'm not really interested in. Let me see what else is in there. Some of that armor might be good. I have to look at what I have. The tattered cape could be magic. Or the ornamental cope, for that matter, could be a magic cloak. I don't remember what cloak I'm wearing, but I think it's mundane. Or it might be elvish. Let me look at my inventory. Okay, I currently have just plain leather armor, so I should definitely look at some of that body armor in there. The ornamental cope and the tattered cape would be replacing an elven cloak. Okay, the elven cloak isn't bad, so this isn't urgent, but magic cloaks can potentially be really nice if they're certain ones. In particular, the Cloak of Magic Resistance is very nice. So I'm going to try these on. That's a +2 Cloak of Displacement. That's not bad at all. The other one... He did step on it, so I can try that too. That's a cloak of invisibility. Right now, I would rather have displacement than invisibility, mostly because it's +2, and also because invisibility is kind of annoying in shops, and after Sokoban I'll probably be going to Minetown. Now I could switch it out, so it's not like it would be a big disaster. But I think because it's +2, I'm going to go with the displacement. The Elven Cloak grants some stealth, which is also useful, so even sticking with that wouldn't be bad. Let's see what other armor is in here. Chainmail isn't... This is where we want the armor spoiler for real. Let me pull this up. Armor spoiler. Chainmail isn't that great. You can see that its defense value... That is what this is, right? Yeah. The green is the defense value. Its defense value is 5, and its weight is 300. That's weight, right? And then, yeah, the gold price is gold. That makes sense. Or the gold number is the price, because you pay in gold, right? Gold Zorkmids. So, the chainmail weighs 300 and grants a defense of 5. I guess that's not as bad as I was thinking. Leather weighs 200 and grants 3, so it would be an improvement. Let me see. What other options are there here? Well, what other options are there here? Crystal plate mail is great, except it's really expensive. Not expensive, well, it's that too, but it's really heavy, is what I meant. Weighs 600. It grants 9, which is good. Defense, I mean, it's better than Mithril, or I think most Dragon Scale mail. No, it's the same as Dragon Scale mail in terms of how much defense it grants, but it weighs like 600, which is a ton. And I'm flying, and my constitution and strength are both decent, so I probably could actually wear the crystal plate mail, but man, I would rather be able to carry some stuff. So I think if I could get mithril, that would be awesome. But of course, there's no mithril in the magic chest this time. There potentially could be, because some of the items in here are just random, like random armor. And it just picks anything from the armor category and just throws it in there. So what you get is kind of pot luck. I don't want any of the orcish gear because it consistently has a poor protection to weight ratio compared to other gear. Splint mail weighs 400. You can see the weights shown here, so you can see how much it weighs. Splint mail, the amount of protection it grants is okay. It's what samurai start with. It grants 6, which is similar to mithril. So in terms of protection, it's good. 400 weight, that's a lot less than the crystal plate. But still, banded mail would be better because it would give the same amount of protection for less. And there's banded mail in here. So let's ignore the splint mail. Pull out some of that banded mail. And see if we can get my pet to step on any of it. Okay, where is it here? Oh, I didn't actually get it all. Because once I pulled one out, it was like, nope, that's enough. In terms of the encumbrance. Okay. Let me go ahead and take out some of this banded mail. I know this is a little tedious to watch, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the best armor we can, because that's the best protection you can get for yourself. Okay, so I've got these banded mails sitting around here. I'm going to see what my pet will pick up or even just step on. Okay, that banded mail was +0, makes my defense 14, which would make me burdened, but what happens if I put down the leather armor? Now, it's heavier than the leather armor I was wearing, so I need to put something else down too. Well, I can do that. I'm carrying several cloaks here. So let me put some things I don't need right now in. I'm going to put the orcish daggers in because there's better daggers available to me. I'm going to put the etched helmet that my pet won't step on in there, and then I can get it out at Minetown and drop it on an altar, to be sure. But I think it's probably cursed, so I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to put the Elven Cloak away, and for now, the Cloak of Invisibility. I may regret that. I may wish I had it with me, but for now, I'm going to put it in there. And let me put 2 of the food rations away. Let me put all of my scrolls away, not because of weight. Scrolls don't weigh that much, but because I don't want to be carrying them in case I get hit with like fire or something and they'll burn. Not only does that destroy the scroll, it also damages me because it creates additional fire. Similarly, the potions, if I get hit with, say, a wand of fire or something like that, I don't want to be carrying those potions. So I'm going to put them away in there. Put all that in my magic chest. Now I will definitely be unencumbered. Alright, let's try on that banded mail. That is also +0. And I can put away the other one. This one, my pet clearly moved, so I'm going to try that one on. Okay. And I know my pet stepped on the iron shoes, because I saw it happen at some point. Oh, that's the leather armor. That's what I saw him step on, not the iron shoes. Obviously, iron shoes would be the same color as other metal objects. So I'm going to put some of that junk back in. Now, I think, I'm not absolutely certain whether my pet has stepped on that one. I know that the iron shoes were in a different place, so they've been moved. So they're safe to try on. Okay, that's helpful. I've got my defense to 16 now, which is better. I don't think my pet has stepped on that banded mail there. Yeah, no, he did just now, and it was reluctantly. So we're going to call that oops, not that. Cursed. There we go. And put it away in the magic chest. Okay, and then we will continue doing these boulders, getting behind these boulders and moving them around. This is the first level of Sokoban, so the puzzle is meant to be easy. So it's just not that complicated. You don't need to think very hard about it, hopefully, if you've done Sokoban puzzles before. If you're completely unfamiliar with the concept of Sokoban, well, then you can think of the first level as sort of a tutorial that teaches you the mechanics so that you can figure out how Sokoban even works. Of course, what a lot of players do is just look up spoilers for Sokoban. And good news there is that NetHack Fourk, all of the Sokoban levels in NetHack Fourk, there are spoilers for. This is the 4304 spoilers page, but if we go back here to the basic NetHack Fourk spoilers page, and by the way, if you go to the NetHack wiki, which I should be showing you anyway because this is the information source other than the source itself. You can always look at the source code itself and then you know everything, if you can understand it all. Which, yeah, we'll leave that to one side for the moment. But in terms of a place where you can read articles about, and it's not just the details, it's also strategy and all kinds of stuff. This is the source for information about NetHack, the NetHack wiki. Make sure you don't get the one that's on Wikia, the wiki hack thing. That was at one time the one the community used, but there was a disagreement about, I don't know, style sheets or something, or how the advertisements were shown, something, a disagreement between the NetHack community and Wikia. This was before I started playing NetHack, so I don't know the details. But there was a disagreement, and the community abandoned the Wikia wiki and set up this NetHack wiki, which is hosted by the same people that host the server at nethack.alt.org, which is I think the longest running NetHack server, certainly the most famous one. I'm not playing on it because it doesn't host a lot of variants. It mostly hosts vanilla, and I'm playing a variant, so I'm playing on a different server. But NAO is the big. But anyway, if we look up here, now what was I going to look up? Oh, right, NetHack Fourk. If I look up NetHack Fourk, there is an article here. Now, I have not put a lot of information in this article, but one thing I have done under external links is add a link to the spoilers. So if you can't remember this address, you can go to the NetHack wiki and look up NetHack Fourk and click through to the spoilers from the external links. And these spoilers, by the way, are automatically generated. These are not handwritten. There's code in the code that generates them. And so these are automatically generated spoilers. And we were looking at the armor spoiler, but anyway. Okay. What do I want to do? I want to push these boulders. Oh, the reason I was mentioning the spoilers this time was to say that there are Sokoban spoilers. And there's spoilers here for every different level. The one we've got looks like that. So if we look for one that looks like that. Oh, look, here it is. One weird trick. So there is, and there's a solution. And it says untested, but I think somebody would have told me by now if it didn't work, because a lot of people have played through NetHack Fourk last June, for instance, since these spoilers went up. So there are solutions available for all those. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like Sokoban, doesn't want to figure it out, you just want to get through it. Fourk also adds some options. I had mentioned last time, but my audio was acting up so badly, most of you probably didn't watch it. Most of all three of my viewers, probably didn't watch it. So I will say it again. NetHack Fourk adds some options for not having to deal with Sokoban for players that don't like it. One of those options, one of those things, is that if you are hallucinating, the luck penalties don't apply. Another is that if you are carrying a luck stone, the luck penalties don't apply. It still breaks the didn't cheat in Sokoban conduct, but that's just a conduct, who cares? There's no actual in-game penalty if you're either carrying a luck stone or if you're hallucinating when you do it. Now, when you're hallucinating and you do one of the things you're not supposed to do in Sokoban, like break a boulder or read a scroll of earth or one of several other things, if you do one of those things when you're hallucinating, you get a message that says avalanche, because hallucination, yeah. And so then, what is this? A dog. You know what? I think I want to tame the dog. The dog will be an easier pet to keep alive than the pony, because dogs eat corpses, and so you don't have to constantly feed them vegetables. So let me decide what to throw at him to tame him. I think the best option is the pancake. There we go. Dog devours pancake. I want to keep that dog if I can, so I'm going to go ahead and name him. And I'm going to call him Descartes. That will work. Notice there's one boulder left over down there. I am going to go ahead and go move it, just in case there's something under it. I don't think there is, but I'm going to move it anyway. In FigHack, which means when I rebase, this will become true in Fourk as well. In NetHack, you don't have to look under boulders to see if there's something under them or not. You don't have to move them because you can see with the object pile highlighting, as soon as you see the boulder, it will have a, I think it's blue, background. And so you'll know that there's something under it, or not, as the case may be. Okay, we'll go ahead and kill that. Let me see. I'm going to need some room up here, but let's go ahead and do first this down here, just so the reasoning will make sense. Do that. That's easy. Pick up the ring. I'm going to pull the ring up here and drop it here. Where is the ring? Actually, I should drop several rings. All around here. Now, the reason I dropped them in that location, right in front of the pit corridor, is because, in my experience, pets cannot resist going into that pit corridor. I think specifically because you don't want them to. That's probably confirmation bias or some such thing. But it just seems to me like the pets always go in that corridor. Actually, there's probably a real reason, such as you keep going in there and they want to follow you or something. But anyway, in my experience, pets always go in there. So anything I drop there, sooner or later, the pets will either step on it. Well, the pets will step on it, whether they want to or not, even if they do so reluctantly. So then I'll know whether it's cursed or not. Okay, this one I saw him step on. This one I just saw him step on, and they moved that one. So those are all not cursed. Okay, whereas this one I'm still not sure about, so we're going to put it there. Alright, now let me figure out, how do I'm going to have to push something up north in order to have some room to maneuver. So, I'll push this one over a couple. There's a triparation, I'll pick that up. Use that if I need to tame a dog or something. I can push that. Pets in Sokoban are a little annoying, but you can deal with it. It's not that big a deal. Some people prefer to leave their pets outside of Sokoban, but I would rather have them with me so I know what they're up to. Also, because the pets can actually, in the early game, pets can really get you out of a bind when you've got a monster you don't dare fight. And if you, like, ride Elbereth or something, that doesn't necessarily solve the problem because the monster may be between you and the stairs or whatever. And sometimes a pet will kill it and solve your problem. So I like to keep the pets with me in the early game. Later, I will ditch them because they're not worth it after a certain point. Oh, that platinum wand, I should go ahead and test that since I have it. Bugs on the floor, speed up. Let me go ahead and zap the Wand of Speed monster at myself. I don't know if I'll get anything permanent from that, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, and then I want to push this one. Actually, first, an Iridium Wand. We'll test that. The engraving on the floor vanishes. Okay, so the Iridium Wand is one of the ones that makes engravings vanish. Could be a wand of cancellation. Could be a wand of teleportation. Could be a wand of make invisible, I think. those ones are significant, especially because they can be cancellations. So you don't want to put them in a bag of holding. Also because teleportation is very useful to have identified. Okay, I think that one. Because I would rather have it out of there because then I'll be able to maneuver better. Okay, let me eat. What do I want to eat? Oh, I've got 4 food rations again. This is Sokoban. You keep accumulating food. Sokoban takes a long time to do, which is why they do that. They give you all that food because it takes so long to do that speedrunners often skip it. If you watched Adian Mikoyola do his live speedrun on stage at Roguelike Celebration a couple of months ago, he skipped Sokoban. No, he did the first level of Sokoban just far enough to get the Scrolls of Earth, if I remember correctly. Scrolls of Earth are useful for speedrunners because you can use it to create a little boulder fort, which is useful in certain situations. The reason the game gives you Scrolls of Earth and Sokoban, I think, is so that if some of the boulders get broken, you're not stuck with absolutely no way to complete the level. You take a luck penalty if you read a Scroll of Earth in Sokoban, but you can recover from that if it's only the one. Luck penalties in Sokoban, how they work is every time you do something you're not supposed to, it penalizes you 1 luck. Assuming you're not carrying any luck stones, luck times out towards 0 by 1 point every time the turn count is divisible by 600. So if we look right now, it's turn 4152. If I pull up a calculator and I say 4152 divided by 600, that's 6.92. So 7 times 600 will be 4200. When it hits turn 4200, if my luck is 1 or -1, it'll go to 0. If it's 2, it'll go to 1, or -2, it'll go to -1. It times out towards 0 every time the turn count is divisible by 600. Having luck of -1 or even -2 isn't a very big deal. Unless you're trying to do certain specific actions where it's a bad thing, where it matters. If you're trying to wish, for instance, or maybe pray, not certain about that. Definitely if you're trying to wish, then it matters. But in most of the game, having luck of -1 or -2 is manageable. Having luck of -10 is very, very, very bad because luck goes into the 2-hit formula, among other things. And so if your luck is -10, you cannot hit anything, especially in the early game when you're probably doing Sokoban, because you don't have a very high experience level yet either, which is the other thing that goes into the 2-hit formula. Excuse me for a second. I'm drinking hot tea in an attempt to keep my voice from going all froggy while I'm recording. So anyway, that is why the luck penalty is relevant in Sokoban mainly is because if it gets to be really high, it causes if you get a lot of luck penalty, it causes a big problem for you. And so having to cheat once or twice in Sokoban doesn't hurt you that bad. But if you have to do it repeatedly, that is a whole different kettle of wax. I know, I mixed 2 metaphors, or aphorisms, or whatever they are. Sayings. Okay, so let's get some of these boulders done here. So yes, if you have to cheat at Sokoban, be careful and only cheat a limited number of times, and then wait for it to time out before you do it again. It's also useful to know when it's time to back out to 0 because get out of there. This is why I put cursed objects if I have them here.
to try to keep the pets out of there. It doesn't work. It helps, but it doesn't solve the problem entirely. Sometimes the pets are going to go in there regardless. Okay, so I should pay more attention. So I know when my pets are in the corridor, so I don't push boulders in there and trap them. Okay. Let's go up here and get a couple of these. Alright. 2 more to go, and there are 4 boulders left. So I should have no problems finding enough boulders here. There are always at least as many boulders as you need, assuming none get destroyed. And most of the levels, especially the easier ones, which tend to be the early ones, most of the levels have spare boulders, so that if you have to destroy a boulder, it only costs you the 1 point for destroying the boulder, and you don't also then have to read a scroll of earth in order to get a replacement. Players who are new to Sokoban frequently screw it up. Players who are not new to Sokoban sometimes screw it up even though they know better because of typos. I've done that many times. Okay, do I have a key or anything resembling a key? I don't. I have a harp, which I should at some point test to see if I think it's magic. If I don't have a key, I'm going to have to kick down that door. And that means I want my pets with me because, frankly, I don't want to be alone facing whatever's in that room if it turns out to be significant. It's probably not. This is not the last level of Sokoban. Ooh, a large dog. I want to tame that. What do I throw at it? I could go with the fortune cookie, but let's just give it the tripe. Some players who like to get pets to steal from shops for them will tell you, no, you don't waste tripe by throwing it at animals to tame them. You use tripe for training them, so their apport goes higher, or whatever, however that's pronounced, so that they'll steal more for you, and I just don't care about that. Let's name him Euler. Oh boy. This level. Okay. When I arrived on the level, you'll notice that no, wait, it's there. When I arrived on the level, you'll notice that it said stacked dozen, and some text had been burned into the floor. How did they all end up on top of each other? This is one I'm going to actually use the spoiler for, because yes, I'm going to. Okay. Stacked dozen. This is one I'm going to go ahead and use the spoiler for. I will go ahead and scroll this by the camera briefly just so that you can see it, although you can look at it for yourself on the internet. Yeah. You have to unstack them all first before you can actually solve anything. So I'm going to scroll that down here out of the camera pickup, or out of the recording pickup. Go ahead and pick up that tiger eye ring and bring it over here and drop it here. Okay. Okay, push A, the first boulder, one east, so as my pet's not standing there. Okay. There's objects here. Do I want them? Maybe later. Push A. 1 east, 1 north, 4 east, 2 north to position A. Push B. 1 east, 1 north, 6 east, 2 south to position B. Okay then. Push C. 1 east, 1 north, 6 east, 2 north. Okay. Push D. 1 east. Oh, I need to eat something. A food ration. Got plenty of those. 1 north. 4 east. 1 south. And then 3 east. To position D. Step 2. Unstack E, F, G, and H. Right. Push E. 1 east. 1 north. 6 east to position E. Push F. 1 east. 1 north. 5 east to position F. This would be a lot easier if I didn't have 3 pets, but hey. Push G. 1 east. 2 north. 2 east. Push H. 1 east. 1 north. 2 east. To position H. By the way, this level came to Fourk from, of all places, Slash'em Extended. Although it wasn't original there. Slash'em Extended had got it from someplace else. Some collection of Sokoban levels somebody made. Okay, push J. 1 east. And this level is kind of evil, but it's not so evil that I felt that I couldn't dare include it. So I did. 2 north. I was able to figure out the solution myself. In Slash'em Extended, the developer of Slash'em Extended went ahead and put it in the game without even knowing if it had a valid solution. I found the solution and then included it. Okay. This is J, right? Yeah, and I'm pushing it 1 more east to there. And then K, 1 east, to position K. Push L 1 north to position L. Boulder M is already in its target position. Good. So now I have the level, so it looks like a normal Sokoban level that can be solved. Okay, let's go ahead and take this one, right? No. Wait. Okay. I actually need to push this over by 1. There we go. Wow, the pets. Okay. There's another dog. Do I want another dog? That's a puppy. I'm going to kill it. I don't want 4 pets in Sokoban. I will eventually have at most 2, because that pony won't survive. It will starve eventually. Herbivore pets. I know some players, when they play Knight, keep their starting pony until it becomes a warhorse, keep it and ride it all game and stuff. I have never mastered the art of keeping an herbivore pet alive that long. You have to constantly feed them vegetables, and I just have never mastered it. So I am going to assume that the pony will eventually die, but I don't care because I have 2 dogs, one of which is a large dog, which is good. Large dog is the adult form. Yeah. And a dog is a pretty decent early game pet. I mean, it's not one of those ones you're like, ooh, yeah, this pet can kill the shopkeepers and everything for me. It's not like that. It's not like having a pet Jabberwock or something. But for the early game, it's a pretty useful, pretty helpful pet. All right, now let me see. What can I safely take next? I think. Okay, Nymph. Sokoban is a great place to encounter nymphs, because they can't teleport away as soon as they steal something, because Sokoban is a non-teleport branch. It blocks teleportation branch-wide. So it's a fantastic place to encounter nymphs, much better than encountering them somewhere else. Nymphs can be very annoying, but in Sokoban, it's not such a big deal. Okay. Get that cleared out of there. I've stopped using the spoiler at this point because now we're just solving like a regular Sokoban level. Let me see. What do I want? Let's bring that furthest left one. Yes, down. And that will let me do with it what I've been doing with the others. I want the Shrieker because I want to eat the corpse. Shriekers, okay, I didn't get anything from it this time, but Shrieker corpses can grant several useful intrinsic abilities, including poison resistance. So they're quite good to eat. They don't grant very much nutrition, which is also good, because then you don't get satiated, meaning you can eat something else too for more intrinsics. Um, NetHack being what it is, there's actually plenty of food, and so the larger problem with nutrition is not usually getting enough. It's avoiding being stuffed full when you want to eat. Uh, yeah, because, yeah. It's really annoying to have, say, a blue dragon corpse that you want to eat for the resistance, and you can't because you're already full, and that would be too much. Now, in Fourk, you aren't going to choke to death like you can in vanilla, but being too oversatiated, it makes you bloated, and that slows you down, which is also not good. How long have I been recording? Let's go ahead and try to finish this level at least. Okay, the house cat bites. I'm going to throw the lichen corpse at the house cat. That will not tame it, but will make it peaceful. That gives me a wand of speed monster, which I don't need because I already had one. But I will hold on to it so that monsters don't use it against me. Oh, pets in NetHack 4 don't usually fight peaceful monsters, but dogs and cats don't like each other. So they are doing that. Okay. This one. This is the prize level. Let me cut the recording here because I think this is long enough. We will come back and do back at you the prize level of Sokoban next time. Thanks for watching.